Right, my lesson today is about the rule of thirds. First thing to make up for it is, what is the rule of thirds? Rule of thirds is a compositional device which sort of is used in all bases of art, like photography or painting. It's essentially a theory that every image should divide into 9 equal parts set on a grid. And the idea behind it is that all the action you want to have going on in your image should go where these lines bisect. So that's essentially what a rule of third grids looks like. The red dots are the indication points of where you're going to want something happening within your photo to draw your reader's eye, to draw your eye to. This is essentially the big one. So if I was a genuine photograph, you wouldn't want me standing in the middle. You want to aim to put detail in here, so you pay more attention to what's going on within the image when you're actually looking at it. For examples, we've got this photo here. Essentially, it's a photograph of a shed in a field. But when you look at, you imagine this grid drawn over it, where this shed lies will be exactly on one side of it, which makes you sort of look at the picture as a whole. So you see, it's the shed, but it also draws into the desolation of the area and how empty and barren it is. It gives you a feeling for the photograph. Similarly, to when you do a portrait, you have, whenever you're taking a portrait, you always want to be looking at the eyes. That's the main focal point. So whatever you do, again, you notice where it's fell on the grid, and you sort of draw into it all the elephant's wrinkles. I'm assuming that's an elephant. You believe that. But yeah, you get the passion in the eyes. Similar to when you do a full portrait. You look at the cat, all the detail, eyes beautifully in focus, and it gives the whole image sort of a sense of grandeur and a real feeling to it, and how you're meant to visualise it. Like on portraits, you use it again. All the detail is going on. If you imagine all the images divided up there. When you're setting a scene as well, if you do a portrait shot, you have action going on, which is your key point if it falls down the side, but you also view everything around. You see people viewing the guy, where it's going to go, so it helps draw in what you're supposed to be looking at when you're building the full image. Again, this is a rule of thirds, it's only a rule of thumb. The key part is you've got to think about what the purpose for the photograph you're taking is. For example, if you're doing a product, that is all that you're going to be looking at. So you will break this rule of thirds because it just needs to be in the centre.
30 seconds.
There is no detail involved that's going on anywhere other than the actual image. So the key is that if you've learned a purpose for your photograph, or what you're going to do to build a rule, once you understand the rules, the best part comes, because to understand them, you have the ability to break them. But you need to have a keen understanding in these rules to be able to break and make your own images individually exciting. I haven't had a chance to cover everything today, but I have set up a sheet for you all I'll give out now, which covers everything in a bit more detail. And when I upload this, there's some links you can find. I'll put it on the group blog. That's essentially it.